How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a test hand video for the Mekk-Knight invoked deck that I've been playing. Someone in the comment section down below wanted to see a combo video, but the deck kind of relies on what you open, what your opponent has, and stuff like that to really combo off. So I thought I'd just do some test hands. I think that'd be a little bit better. And yeah, I'll just show you what it can potentially do and just how consistent it might be. So let's go and get into it. So yeah, of course with Mekk-Knights, it all depends on what your opponent has sometimes to really get most of your Mekk-Knight plays off. But of course, you can get some plays going, even going first. So I'll just do a test hand going first. So Invocation, the Mekk-Knight, Nadir Servant, and Ash, and Imperm. So with this, it's pretty cool. You can't get too much going, but you can get some plays off. You can opt to go into the Girsu and send the World Legacy spawn tokens, go into a link 2, then Nadir Servant for Titanclad, and then just hope these two negates are enough. So yeah, I would just start off with the Girsu effect, sending World Legacy. Then you can use the effect to spawn a token, go into a link 2 to bring out a Morning Star. Not the strongest play, but it's just to get rid of your Girsu and go into a link 2. And plus the Mekk-Knight, the Morning Star, has a pretty decent effect. And then you still have your Ash and Imperm. You can go and do Nadir Servant, sending the Titanclad, or Intis if you want to, if there's something on their field, which if you want to get rid of the token, I guess. You can go that route, but you might as well save it. So Titanclad into, of course, searching the Ecclesia off of the Nadir Servant. Then you can special summon, most likely in defense. Use the effect. Since you have the Titanclad in the graveyard, you can go and grab the trap if you decide to run it. Set that for interruption on your opponent's turn. And then during the end phase, after you set, the Imperm, and then you'll have Ash, and you'll have the punishment, and of course with Titanclad, you get to add the Fleur-de-Lis. So you have multiple interruptions. You have Ash, you can negate a monster effect, pop a card, 2 if you send Intis, of course. And then, of course, you have the Imperm. So a lot of negates there. Pretty decent board. Not the strongest. It would have been a lot better if I opened up more Mekk-Knights and stuff like that. But yeah, that was the first example hand. You'll have, like I said, a lot of answers for your opponent. And hopefully it is enough. But yeah, I'll get into the second test hand here in a second. Alright, so for the going second hand, that's primarily what you want to do with this deck, since you have the Mekk-Knights, so you can play off your opponent sometimes, especially if they're not careful in the zones that they're putting their cards in, and if they don't know what you're playing, of course. So we got Memory, Ash, Nibiru, Alistair, and another Nibiru. So more than likely you'll use the Ash, and sometimes you'll be able to get the Nibiru off, so we'll just put that as an example. We'll have Nibiru in the far column, and then we'll put the token in the extra monster zone, or in the same zone as, the extra monster zone, because then we could just go ahead and do Invoker, normal summon, of course, get you your Invocation. Then you can go and link into the Almirage into the Gardna. That way you have your light for Makaba. And then you'll want to go ahead and do that. So banish that, or if your opponent has stuff in the graveyard, you can go ahead and banish their stuff. But we'll just say that you have to banish the Gardena for the Mekk-Knight. Put that in the extra monster zone. Then use the effect of invocation, of course, sending that back to return the Alistair. And then you can go to do memory. Grabbing the purple Nightfall, of course. Just the best one to do. In defense, banish it to then search out another Mekk-Knight. Now, depending on what's going on with the field, you can go and do Blue Sky, since they'll have a token, and the Mekk-Knight, more than likely. Of course, it all depends on what your opponent has, or what happens after Nibiru, or if you're even able to get Nibiru off. But you can go and special summon, and grab yourself one Mekk-Knight at least. Usually I'll go and grab the Indigo Eclipse. And then, of course, depending on what your opponent has, you can go ahead and special summon that as well. But yeah, it really depends on what your opponent has. But you have another Nibiru, you have Alistair for next turn, you have a negate and a banish, and just an okay beater with the Nibiru. So it depends on how big the token is and everything like that. You might want to do different plays if it is really big. But yeah, those were the example hands, and hopefully you guys did enjoy and it helped out a bit. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.